So today what we're going to do is we're going to make a comparison between monopoly and monopolistic competition. Now, what we just talked about on the note sheet is that monopolistic competition is actually very similar, almost the same as perfect competition. It's almost the same. It's not exactly the same. We talked about that differentiated product. I love the Shoop's burger. Maybe you like the Five Guys burger, and we went through the differences why. So it's close to perfect competition in talk and on paper, but when we graph it, monopolistic competition is actually very similar to monopoly. The reason for that is the fact that the differentiated product creates the illusion of monopoly. So if you recall, monopoly is drawn like so. We have a demand curve. Then below the demand curve, we have our marginal revenue curve. The reason the marginal revenue curve is below the demand curve is because if this monopolist changes price, they have to go backwards and change price for all customers. They can't just discriminate and charge everybody different. They have to give everybody the same price. Those are the American capitalist rules. Then we draw our quantity line right through the North Star, which is the intersect MC equals MR. This spot then gives us this triple row of dots where we see our price line coming off the demand curve and our cost line coming off of the average total cost. This is monopoly in long-run equilibrium. And in long-run equilibrium, a monopoly will earn profit. So now let's take a look at monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is drawn nearly the same way. We start with our XY axis, make your demand curve sloped. Remember, in perfect competition, the demand curve is horizontal. Then make your marginal revenue curve beneath the demand curve. So already monopolistic competition looks like monopoly. Then we have to add our marginal cost curve, which of course is the supply curve. And now here's where it gets a little bit different. We're going to start by finding MC equals MR. We're going to make our quantity line through there like we always do in all markets. This is always where we draw our quantity line. There's your price line. Here's your quantity line. This is monopolistic competition where we're almost done. We still have to add our average total cost curve. Notice in monopoly, the average total cost curve falls beneath the price, so that your price is higher than the average total cost. That means this is the area of maximum profit for a monopoly firm. In monopolistic competition, they will earn zero profit in the long run because the restaurant business is easy to get into. Many companies start themselves up and get into the restaurant business. So the profit margins are very narrow for the restaurant business. They make money, they pay themselves salary. The owner will pay the manager salary or something like it. So they're in the long run, even if they earn zero profit, they still make money. That said, it's a zero profit condition. In order to show zero profit, you have to make the ATC tangent to the demand curve. And so all we need to do is like so. Tangent at that point, we're going to start, we're going to come through, strike, and then we're going to go over, just like so. And now notice our ATC is tangent to the demand. That means here, cost equals price. We still strike the marginal cost at the low point of ATC. That's still productively efficient over there. Notice they're not producing there, so they're not productively efficient. Instead, they are in the zero profit condition. This is how you draw monopolistic competition in long-run equilibrium. This is monopoly in long-run equilibrium. Notice the graphs are exactly the same. Remember, we can move this average total cost curve any number of ways. And so if we're asked to draw monopolistic competition in long-run equilibrium, this is what we do. Average total cost is tangent to the demand curve. Cost equals price. This is the zero profit condition. Because in the long run, there is zero profit in a monopolistically competitive firm. Monopoly, on the other hand, has profit in the long run.